Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a new mold, Hog Salad Bait Molds. This one's featuring the new Mohawk Minnow 3.8 inch. This one is a 4 cavity with individual sprues. As you look at it, you're like, whoa, these look a little off center. It kind of threw me for a loop, but as I saw how the mold is oriented on the inside, it's pretty cool, different. So let's check it out. As you can see as well from the outside though, there's the signal of which is the belly, which is the back, which I really like. Also, this mold has rounded edges. For some reason, it feels really nice in your hands. But as you can see, these come diagonal. And if we get a better look, you can see there's the Mohawk. There is a part of the belly which has another fin that looks like it will give it more action, which is really nice. Good little bait fish profile. The eyes also come with a socket for adding your own eyes as well. So these are 4 millimeters, I believe, that you can put eye sockets into. And I have to say the craftsmanship on this is really good. Super clean mold. Always love getting a new mold. It looks like a mirror. This is actually my second one that I ordered from Hog Salad Bait Molds. The last one you might have seen on the previous video, which features the Angling AI C block. We utilized the Gilly, which was a 3.8 inch, and that mold is phenomenal as well. So great job by Billy and Amy on this one as well. Really excited to get to it. For the plastisol, of course, we're going to be using some dead-on plastic. This is going to be the swim bait jerkbait blend. It's going to be the floating blend as well. As you can see, we got this old bottle of dead-on as well. We'll be using the green pumpkin. I have a bunch of these older bottles that they use, and man, are they messy. So I'm trying to just burn them up, use as much as the colorant I could. For this one, I'm going to do about 25 to 30 drops. And then what we're going to go with is the LureWorks Royal Blue. It's a size 8, so a smaller size. We'll be going with about a 1/4 teaspoon. And then the next one we'll finish it up with is another flake, which is going to be from MF LureWorks Manufacturing. This is just a small black flake as well. Kind of give it a nice little tint or little tone with the black and blue. Simple color, single, nothing crazy. However, for the next one, what we'll do is we can do a laminate and see how that turns out. So after a quick little mix, we're going to just heat it up real quick. This mold, when you shoot it with a single color, it's not too difficult. Doesn't seem like it drinks up a lot of plastic. That's kind of one of the reasons why I like to go with single sprues as well, is when you do these laminates, it could sometimes take up a lot of plastic that you mix up, and I feel like it's very wasteful. So single sprues seem to be a little bit better for me. The only caveat, of course, is sometimes when you go from port to port to port, it can make it very difficult, as sometimes the plastic can cool off quicker. So recommended for sure is to warm up your molds. If you're using a blending block for your laminates, of course, warm up those blocks. Try to keep your injector warm a little bit. So I always do try to preheat a little bit. Today's weather was a little finicky. It was bright and sunny, then it gets overcast, but then the temperature was very cold, so the plastic was cooling off quite quickly, which made it very difficult for me to try to get those temperatures equal. So let's check this out. All right, a moment of truth and the reveal. All right, we had 2 stick to the top, but no worries. These look pretty good. Let's put them back in the spots to see if we can kind of get a look similar of how it should come out. And there you have it, a little close-up shot. The black and blue flake on that dark melon color. Very nice looking. Interesting with the Mohawk style, right? And that smaller fin on the bottom. I mean, as you look at this, you could probably do some modifications to the lure and use it for a good, sonar minnow, something for your forward facing possibly, or hover strolling. If you can make a little pintail by removing that top, you can remove the little Mohawk style on the top, but overall body style, good diameter to it, good look from the front, top overview. You can see the eye socket that you can place your custom eyes to if you want to put some eyes on there, fishing eyes, to get a little bit more livelier look action. of the minnow. Very nice looking. So looking at these, a good rigging option could be for the ball head jigs, probably like a 1/16 ounce to a 1/4 ounce. You could probably use these with, Texas rig, Carolina rig, put this on a drop shot, even probably underspins, chatterbaits, like I said, hover strolling. Probably a lot of different options and usage for this lure in this plastic mold. So I'd be curious on how to test these out. So when I get some chance over the weekend, I'll try to throw these. So I had some leftover plastic laying around, so I didn't make this brand new, but this was just using a silver pearl, and then I added like a medium silver flake with a little bit of a hologram, smaller hologram flake. And then for the back or the top part of the lure, I'm going to be using just straight black. So with a quick temperature check, it's running a little hot, 355. Probably recommended doing about 320, 325 usually. So I waited a few seconds to see if I can let it cool down, because again, it was pretty cold today. And let's see if we can get this laminate to shoot properly. As you can see, the black's already kind of cooling off. But everything feeling good so far. Go on for the next port. We'll shoot the next one. Looks like the colorant's looking pretty good. Towards the end, I noticed that probably was a little bit still too hot for the belly side, which is okay. Just means it bleeds over onto the black side a little bit more. And with this one, again, I had my blending black warmed up. The mold was also already a little bit warm from the previous shooting. I did quite a bit of run on that green color that we did. And then let's check out what the blending block looks like for the laminate. Nice simple color. Again, that silver pearl with the straight black. Pretty messy, but let's check this out, see how it looks. Pretty excited for this first new laminate, especially on this dual color. Yeah, not too bad. Again, they didn't all come out on the same side, unfortunately, so it doesn't look pretty, but you can see we have our laminate, silver belly that did bleed over into the black like expected. So if you do want a perfect, more fine line, of course, shoot this at a cold temperature. Doesn't seem like it has problems with it. No air bubbles, no missing parts to it. Another close-up look on these. You can see the eye socket that you can fill in. Overall, it looks pretty cool. Should be a fish catching magnet here with these. The black and the silver. So yeah, shooting them at a warmer temperature. Maybe go a little bit colder next time. But they look great. Shouldn't be a problem catching fish on these. The plastic used on this one was the dead-on plastic as well. The floating swim bait jerkbait blend. And there you go, you can see there's that Mohawk. It does give it a little ribbed anal fin that goes along the body. Pretty interesting as well. Like I said, maybe some modifications to this. You could remove the Mohawk just by tearing it off, bite it off, cut it off, however you guys want to do your modification. Even removing one of the fins or just leaving them. But would make a really good hover strolling, sonar minnow. And one last thing. Let's try a triple injection. What would be a video without doing the triple injection on this mold? What we'll be doing is the electric grape. I haven't really used this color very much, so I don't remember how much I would need, whether it's transparent or not, what the opacity looks like. So we'll start off about 12 to 15 drops to see what it looks like. And that was way too light for me, so I was like, you know what? Let's just dump some in. So we go about another 30 drops on top of that, which will speed up here. And then with that 30 drops, it definitely gives it a little bit darker color that we're looking for, something that's very opaque and not very transparent. And then what we're going to do is add in some black. Now, if any of you know or have these old bottles, you can see how messy they get. So can't wait to use up all this black, so that way I don't have to use these bottles and can go with the newer nozzles, because man, they are a pain. So we did about 2 drops of black. You can see it really darkens that purple, almost gets us to that dark grape. So that would be our top part. I had some leftover pearl white and some leftover chartreuse that I figured, why not, let's use it. So for the belly, we want to use the pearl white. We'll use the middle chartreuse, and then the purple electric grape for the top. Again, we're going to use some blue from LureWorks. This is just a small flake. This is that royal blue. And then we're going to add in some pink. And my thought process was like trying to get like that old like galaxy looking color, something spacey, and just kind of do something different on this point. But this is a trial and error. We're going to see how it turns out for triple laminate. And this pink is not very bright in the aspect of color, but it does give off some flake or that sparkle, and it looks pretty nice. So thought, why not give it a try? If there's a color idea out there, if you want me to try, please let me know in the comments. Just reach out, say, hey, definitely would like to see this in color, or 2 colors or 3 colors. Let me know, certain flakes, colors, to see if I have them, and would definitely like to help you guys get a visual of what you want to see. So the temperatures on this was very tricky. Again, it was very cold outside. So we'll see if we can be able to get this one to work correctly. If not, I'll wait for it to warm up a little bit better out here, so that way I have a better opportunity to get some even laminates, some even injections. So overall though, doing the injecting port with the 3 blending blocks felt pretty good. Seems like everything was coming out quite smooth, so no issues there. Probably again a little hot, but as you can see, that white pearl is already peeling off the glass of the cup, so it looked like it was getting cold, but not cold. The chartreuse was feeling a little weird when I made it back in the day, so I might have to do another color that might be easier to see, something that might be as well as properly made. I don't think this was heated up or set up correctly, or maybe I used an even softer plastic. But overall, when we open up the block, you can see the 3 colors that are going through. And let's give this a quick little look and see how the triple injection came out. Hopefully it's good and it didn't mess up or no issues along the way. Hopefully the colors came out nicely. And the reveal, okay, a little different, not as clean or as accurate as I like, but we can see this first one here definitely kind of had that idea where the purple chartreuse and white belly, a little bit of the flake shows through, but overall not bad. Again, with the temperatures, probably had it bleeding a little bit too much, so that's why we don't get that fine line. And the chartreuse was very difficult to work with, it seems like, so I'm sure that's why the chartreuse was very overpowering on the next few injections. I did do a little bit of purging. I do try to purge them to make sure that we get even. I do try to shoot a little bit here and there, so probably just some practice over time to get better with it. This one looks more chartreuse, but there's a little bit of purple that bled in there, and then the white belly as well. The electric grape tried to come through, but that chartreuse was just still overpowering. So lesson learned. So overpowering with the chartreuse, but a white belly still. This one, I'm guessing I didn't put too much pressure, or the plastic was cooling off to where the belly didn't look like it filled in all the way, or it kind of dented. So that was user error. That's totally my fault. Nothing to do with the mold. So I'll get better, but you can see there's more of that purple that showed up. So overall, triple injection, I think this has some potential. I think we can definitely make this work. I'll do some more practice runs and then get it dialed in, and then once I dial it in, we'll make another video. Here's a quick close-up of the eyeballs on the lures. And again, thank you for watching. Appreciate the feedback and the support. If you guys have questions, reach out to me. If you're curious on how they work, anything like that, feel free to reach out. I don't mind helping, supporting, and I'll take any feedback you guys can share as well. So if you have any tips or tricks, please share them my way. And again, have a nice day and catch some big fish this weekend. Hope you're all doing good. Be safe. Take care.